Like there are some interesting ways to make life very comfortable, maybe in ways that it wouldn't have been during the Great Depression, even though the disparity is the same. That kind of
They didn't have
disincentivizes
DraftKings
action.
during the Great Depression. They didn't have Poly Market. How are they supposed to stay entertained? Yeah.
All right, welcome back, beautiful people. It is Thursday, February 5th. Happy Black History Month, Big T.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, my brother. We still got Eric out. He's doing Super Bowl teams. And so we got Tbob in the building. What's happening, baby?
What's up, Aaron? Thank you for having me. I have my official team-issued House of Representatives gear. Shout out Keem Jeffries. Double X fits very nicely. You know, the team may not be in the best space right now, not at its strongest, but the gear is nice.
It would be like if you got a Pittsburgh Pirates team issue quarter zip. You would wear that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's not for the public. It's cool. It's cool to have. It's very cool to have. They're a little feckless right now. Certainly would hope that we can get in the rebuilding stage potentially. Executive branch coming on a little strong, but thank you nonetheless to Representative Jeffries, because it's pretty awesome.
Is the government shut down right now? I saw that the other day, and that was I haven't really heard much from it otherwise.
Government shuts down a lot.
Yeah,
starting to lose its punch when I hear that the government shut down.
Oh, as of 19 hours ago, President Trump signs bill to reopen the government, ending the partial shutdown. So that was quick.
We made it, guys.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, it's like Boy Who Cried Wolf a little bit. Like,
yeah.
We're not buying it anymore.
Didn't we just
I thought we just had
2 months ago? Yeah, well, I that lasted 2 months. We can't sign a longer deal than that. I don't understand any of it, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, not really my area of expertise. But man, it's good to see everybody again. I'm excited about today's episode. We're going to talk about Greenland, which is full of ice. And we're going to have a guest on. His name, I think it's Zachary
Foust, I think.
Foust? I think it's two different names. I've seen two. Whatever.
It's Zachary Loft on, it looks like on Instagram.
Oh, maybe I'm just wrong. Don't worry about it.
I think I've seen both, so I don't know. So he'll tell us anyway. But he's a realtor, and I don't know that he has a certain expertise in this, but I found a video of his, and he started connecting dots, and I was just fascinating. So I want to get him on to just talk about it all, and this newfound desire to, capture Greenland from America is interesting. So we're gonna get into all that, but first we're gonna get into current events and Big T's list of things. Go ahead, fire it off, Big T.
I mean, number one still in the news is the Epstein Files. We keep getting some stuff trickling out of there. Did you see?
My mom called me, brother. My mom called me, and she texted me. I'm gonna show you the text my mom. I had to call her and like, yo, take some of the heat off. She goes, son, I know you don't care, but your take on the Epstein Files is really wrong. They do have evidence. They just won't act. It's clear you haven't read any of it, and I know you won't, but it's best not to comment at all. This is not a good response. It looks bad on you. I was like, damn. So I had to look back. I was like, what did I say? I don't even remember what I said, because I thought I was pretty neutral in it. Like, I don't really know anything about it. And yeah, I was. She was just kind of hard on she said, you said they shouldn't be released. And I was like, nah.
I think you said that being merely, there are going to be people or phone numbers or something that show up in them that does not necessarily indicate you were part of a cabal of pedophiles, which is true. Now, that doesn't mean you are condoning or like you're in favor of,
I think your mom's probably touching on some of the anger that I feel in all of this. And it's even like, and to be clear, I am a kindergarten level Epstein follower.
Same.
Like I probably the most that I've consumed it through.
Probably not the best choice of words.
Okay,
I was going to say probably not the one you want to be.
Wow. That wasn't even a bit. Like, I stumbled into the worst possible combination of words.
You've had some real bad word choice in regards to children recently.
Yeah, I was trying to do a joke on Wake Up Barstool. We always make the joke about how PFT keeps like a bar in the third graders to answer our questions. And I was trying to do like a Curious Young Minds thing. And I said the word nubile, which Big T informed me is an actual sexual term.
Yeah.
And specifically with like young women, I believe. So
yeah, I think it's like a hot young woman.
Yeah, so just terrible there.
Yeah.
Terrible saying I'm a kindergarten level Epstein follower. That's not what I meant. What I meant is
novice.
I'm a novice, right? I'm a novice. But even in my novice range, I think where your mom's getting at, because I agree with you, like all the Epstein stuff, not everybody's in the innermost dark part of the circle, right? It's clear that a shit ton of people were going to party on this island, do drugs, have sex with women, and they probably told themselves that the women were well paid or the women wanted to be there, even though, you know, in my opinion, even the of-age women were still trafficked in a lot of ways. But like, whatever. Clearly, everybody's not in the darkest circle, but it's also equally as fucking insane that the government is going to sit here and say, we have no evidence to prosecute anyone else. Like, nope, we can't find any other co-conspirators when the files are riddled with co-conspirators and like redacted evidence of co-conspirators.
Have they explicitly said that, or it's just kind of understood that they're not going to?
I'm not sure. I think they've explicitly said that. Again, don't take that with any, or take that with a grain of salt, but their actions have said that nobody else is getting in trouble, which is again insanity for a ring this large. I mean, one of the Voidzilla guy whose videos I love, who's the CoffeeZilla guy, but he talks about one of the scouts for Epstein, who right along with the Jean-Luc guy, the only other guy to be charged in any of this, who also hung himself in prison. Allegedly, like the other scout that Epstein was paying thousands of dollars a month to find women all across the world for him. We know his name. We have all the emails. We see his messages talking about scouting these girls and getting them over, and he's not in any trouble. Like, it's insane. It's all there. So I don't know. That's maybe some of the frustration your mom's getting at, and I kind of feel some of that this could be so widespread, and yet, we can't get more than one person or two people arrested for it.
Yeah, it's just confusing to me because I totally understand redacting the victims. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But why redact people that are conversing about it with each other?
Exactly.
They should be publicly outed. And I know people are like, well, it's very, it's because they're in the government. Like, yeah, probably, but like I don't know that. We don't know that because all this shit is redacted. And it's fresh. Like, so I was looking up, has the government said anything about prosecutions coming from the files? And there doesn't seem to be anything. The Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, he said during a press conference that if evidence in the files showed other abused victims, then they would pursue charges, but nothing has followed since then.
That's fucking crazy.
So it's just like I don't understand it.
Well, Bill and Hillary are going to testify in front of Congress. Is it later this month, I think?
Are they really?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, look, they've had no problem leaving Bill's name in there. Bill Gates got caught up pretty hard recently with Epstein emailing him, basically blackmailing him, talking about how Bill Gates was asking Epstein. I guess what Epstein was implying is that Bill Gates got an STD from one of the girls, and then he was asking Epstein about how could he get some medicine to get rid of it and get rid of it for his wife, et cetera, et cetera. Elon.
Now see, this is yes, if it's in the files, in the files, but that seems weird to me. I'm Bill Gates, the richest man, one of the richest men that have ever walked the planet Earth, and I email Epstein about how to get rid of an STD.
Well, and to be clear here, I think the email that I saw, and it was Epstein writing an email to Gates or drafting one to Gates where he was basically trying to blackmail Gates and be like, oh, if it was me, I would do this. Otherwise, I might talk about this, going into like Gates asking him for the SE. So
Bill Gates didn't.
No, there's
email
not. There's
him.
not an
He
email
got
from
you.
Gates.
Okay.
I don't believe to Epstein. So Gates is denying
Got
it.
you.
Of course, everybody's denying it. But the problem is, we also know of other guys who said like, "Oh no, I never even talked to him. I never did this or that." And now we have emails of them directly conversing with him. Elon emailing him, when's the wildest day on the island? I need to unwind after a long year. I want your wildest day. In anything in life, guys, right? I think there has to be somebody who is the best at what they do, even if that's a bad thing. Jeffrey Epstein was the best at providing insane parties for uber rich people and making them feel protected.
That does seem to be the case.
Right?
You sound a little excited.
I'm waiting on some kind of qualifier.
Yeah,
brother.
you sound a little giddy about it.
No. I'm not giddy about it. I guess
gonna be mad as hell.
I guess what I'm getting at is, how do we arrive at a point, like Arian was saying, where these people are emailing Jeffrey Epstein this shit and feeling like comfortable enough to do so, is because all of their friends are. All these other uber powerful people with just as much to lose are doing the same shit. And so if it's okay for him, then it's okay for me. And I think that's why they were also kind of comfortable speaking in this way.
I was going to say it is more than mildly insane that these people were, not just breaking the law, they were doing some of the most depraved shit imaginable. And they were just emailing each other like from iPads, being like, haha, can't wait to come do crimes later, LOL. And it's like, you would think maybe if you're some of the most powerful people in the world allegedly doing this kind of stuff, you would have some sense of secrecy. I don't know. And I guess you figure that stuff's never going to get out, but especially with a guy who is seemingly blackmailing these people, and there's cameras in every room of his house. Like, you're just emailing back and forth like, hey, when's the craziest day to come? Haha.
Yeah. It's wild, and it's also like, I understand people's frustration, like, it's infuriating. Like, I got kids, like, you just to think that is a possibility, and there's still, it's a crazy industry. Tim Tebow is like on a mission to like stop child trafficking. I was listening to one of his things. It's like billions and billions of dollars in industry a year for this kind of shit, which means there's a market, which means there's people out there like this, and it's infuriating. But there's like, it's like I'm fighting a ghost. I don't know there's nothing I don't know. I also don't have the desire to dig through these files in any real way, because it makes you mad. It just makes me upset, and there's nothing I can do. So I don't have the desire to do that.
I think that's the kind of most frustrating part about it, is like, they almost beat you. And I mean, they, in terms of people maybe avoiding the shame or maybe legal repercussions that they should suffer, they almost beat that with over information, right? Because there's so fucking much, and you have to be like, even as I talk about it out loud, I can feel people yelling like, that's not exactly what happened here, and that's not exactly what happened there. And they can use that to kind of try to cut away at any point you're trying to make, where I'm like, if we take a step back and we just use common fucking sense and like boil this down, like it's fucking insane. And it's clearly a bunch of powerful people that are just using all of their power and their levers of control to avoid and kind of unite and saying, look, we're all kind of in this together. We just got to deny till we die. And if all of us do that, like, they're never going to get maybe like the true red hot smoking gun. And where there are enough circumstantial pieces to build a case, it's not going to be enough in the wake of our kind of unified resistance against it. Like, so many people have got caught lying about the nature of their relationship with Epstein, and it hasn't meant anything.
Yeah.
So what is the link that you sent? You said there's a guy on Reddit that logged into Epstein's Outlook.
Oh,
what
yeah.
is an Outlook?
There was
the password.
All of his passwords were written down just in the files, different places, I guess. And someone was just like, I wonder if you can just log into his email, and logged into it.
Oh shit.
So yeah, you can. I don't know if it's been patched by now or what, but at some point in the last 48 hours, you could just log into Epstein's email account.
There's also jmail.world, which is something that Voidzilla talks about, where it is, I as I understand it, it's a internet copy of all of Jeffrey Epstein's Gmail account. So anybody can feel free to go dig through the however many emails that are on there and look at whatever you want to look at.
Now, I don't know what was still on there, but if you figured out that you could log into Epstein's email account and the first thing you do is go tell everyone about it, that doesn't seem like... Now, I don't know where you get into in terms of criminality, what kind of stuff you're doing, but just seems odd that you would do that and then run to the internet and tell everyone.
Well, this was released by the government. This was a part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They released this, and then someone just made it look like a normal Gmail account but it was released publicly by the government. And the website, according to Wikipedia, here is it's stylized in a Gmail-based interface with the goal of making the Epstein Files Transparency Act releases easier to access and to browse.
No, but that's different, I think. This guy got into his Outlook account because he saw the password written down in the files.
Oh, yeah, that is different. Sorry, yeah, that is
And he just
different.
went to Outlook.com, put in the
crazy.
email address and password, and got in.
I'm surprised that's not like protected by the government in some manner. I got a question for you, T. Speaking of things that I feel like are obvious, but like I don't have the energy or the education to form this argument or to really want this fight. But like, how do you feel about Trump and Epstein? Because he's trying to victory lap like he's not in there. And yet he is in there, and almost it seems like everybody in his circle is in there. Like Steve Bannon was running extreme PR. He was actively filming a documentary trying to fix Jeffrey Epstein's reputation when finally like the shit just truly hit the fan for him.
I want anyone that there is any reputable evidence of harming children or doing terrible illegal things to go to prison. I don't think there was ever any doubt he was in there. It's a matter of to what degree and doing what kind of stuff. Like, we know they hung out. And maybe this is part of the strategy, is I still haven't seen like you said, a smoking gun. Like
there's allegations,
so
but there's no
stuff
proof behind the allegations.
There's just so much stuff out there. You kind of just have to wait for other people to comb through it, I guess, unless you want to go read 700,000 emails, by all means. But I want everyone, if they're proven to have done these terrible things, then go to prison, kill them. I don't care.
Yeah. I guess it's just, again, I just feel such a kind of disconnect between, like, to me, feels obvious he was up to, like, again, even if he's only fucking above age, of age legal women, they're still trafficked. And it's, I don't know. It's like Brett Ratner just directs the Melania documentary. Okay, well, who shows up there hanging on the island? Ratner. We see Trump with Epstein all the time. Like I said, Steve Bannon's all over there. It's just all of his homies.
I think if we ever found out the actual truth, the scope would be so large and devastating that, like, I don't know that you could do what should be done about it if you wanted to.
It's too big to fail.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel that as well.
I think that's the brilliance in what Trump has done in marketing himself, is that he has diluted the pool when it comes about talking to him so much with the fake news. Everything's fake. Everything bad he's ever done or been accused of, it's fake. It's not real.
Yeah.
And sort of absolves him of any kind of real accountability. Like, he lost the civil court case for sexual assault with Eugene Carroll.
Yeah.
Banks don't care. He's on audio saying you can do whatever you want to them. You just go up and grab them. Banks don't care. There's nothing he could do. I mean, he's literally said I can go up to shoot somebody on, in what is that, Fifth Avenue or whatever. I really think he could. I really think
it is crazy. Think about the energy that the average NFL fan has for Deshaun Watson. And then look at the fact that Donald Trump, since the 70s, has been accused by 28 women of like various acts of sexual misconduct.
If Trump got 9 figures from an NFL team and sucked afterwards, the fans would hate him too.
Well, guess what? A fucking McChicken costs $3.50.
Let me tell you.
So he is blowing that fucking contract.
If Deshaun was playing well, the discussions would be different, at least in some corners of the country.
Yeah, you are right about that. Like if Deshaun was leading Cleveland to victory, like at least Cleveland would be
a hero.
Him. Yeah.
Not in my corner, by the way. It's still fuck Deshaun Watson in my corner of the internet.
I don't know, dude. It's and then also I don't know if you feel this, Arian, but it's just like it's so overwhelming that then I just find myself going back into my shell of apathy and just being like, I'm a historical leaf on the wind. I mean, I have no agency here. I can yell into the void, and then I'm just going to focus on my kids and trying to raise a good life. No, I know. I get it.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because that's what they want, and this is how people get away with it.
I mean, I'm not, I can't persecute anybody. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm talking to on the platform that I have. There's some evil motherfuckers out there, and we should be enraged. But like to be informed about this is to live in a state of anger, and I just can't do that for too long. I can't do that, and so like
I think you should be angry.
I think everyone is angry, but it's at some point you have to be like, well, there's only so much. We're talking about it. There's only so much we can do.
But if you go into that, and I mean this for Epstein Files are probably the number one thing I mean it for, but I mean it for anything, for anything happening in this political climate. Don't get apathetic about it, because then that's what they want, and then that's how they get away with dumb, stupid shit like Minneapolis and this and everything. Don't be apathetic. Be upset and be. I think you should be upset if you're upset.
You want us to storm the Capitol, Maddie? Is that what you asked?
I don't want you to storm the Capitol. I want you to be.
She's saying we
Wait,
need
but
to
hold
go
on.
in.
Help me out here. Somebody has to explain to me the rules. If we do storm the Capitol, am I allowed to be armed or not? Because I'm suddenly
Depends
confused.
on your affiliation.
I'm very confused all of a sudden, because like I thought it was cool. We were cool with guns if you wanted to peacefully protest, but now we're not.
Who's not?
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? They said Preddy was like a terrorist for carrying a weapon to a peaceful protest, right? Like I've seen multiple talking heads up there saying I've never heard of anyone carrying a weapon to a peaceful protest. But then January 6th was supposed to be a peaceful protest, and when everybody brings their assault rifles and stands out there, that's legal gun ownership. But he was a legal gun, so I'm just confused. That's all I'm saying. I don't really know.
I don't think anyone disputes he legally owned a firearm.
Yeah, I know. I just can't. I'm trying to figure out the rules. I don't want to get shot.
No, the rhetoric is definitely different that the president has said about him. I believe he called him a terrorist that was there, a domestic terrorist. All like the right wing channels are saying he was there to cause damage and cause harm, right? When he was a peaceful protester exercising his Second Amendment, right? I mean, I would argue it's sad that he died, but I would never bring a gun to a protest in this country. It's pointless. Like you agitating the situation, but it's your right to do that. I think it's dumb.
No, I mean, again, to be clear, I'm a pacifist in the vein. Like, I think what Martin Luther King taught in terms of like true peaceful resistance, a very Jesus-like message in terms of meeting hate with love and turning the other cheek and kind of winning over time with doing the right thing. Like, I believe in that personally. I just find myself a bit infuriated.
This the irony of that. This is the irony in the whole thing. The people that are staunch defenders of the Second Amendment and don't tread on me flags are rooting for federal agents or at least not asking for accountability for federal agents for gunning down citizens.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
insane to me.
that's where my anger comes in, and why I'm being a sarcastic prick about it is like the disconnect between all of a sudden now guns are bad, and like no, we're cheering on the federal agents killing American citizens.
Yeah, they'd be like, fuck around, find out. Like, what?
It's insane.
Talking, it's crazy.
But I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess that's politics, right? You argue enough, you talk about this enough, your side's going to do something, and then if you just want to support your side blindly, it's going to force you into a place of hypocrisy.
Bar. What a bar. All right, let's move on your list, Big T.
The next thing on the list is light today. It's mostly just some viral clips. Have you seen this Derek Dooley ad, either of you?
Did I?
Have not.
Yes, dude.
I don't know how to feel about this. So Derek Dooley, Arian, you're familiar with his work.
Yes, he was a football coach.
He's a bad football coach at the University of Tennessee who is now running for Senate in Georgia, which I guess helps. He could never win in Tennessee.
No.
So he's from Georgia. His dad, Vince Dooley, obviously legendary.
That's the key, right?
University of Georgia football coach. So he's running for Senate in Georgia, where he lost to them a bunch, so I guess that helps in that he helped Georgia win. But now there's an attack ad from the Georgia Democrats, basically just showing all of his many failures as Tennessee's head coach.
Oh, I haven't seen the attack ad. I've only seen the original ad that he was running on with the Brave Stadium in the background. And everything.
You should go watch it basically just shows a bunch of news clips of him losing and getting fired.
Does it have the snap?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
Okay, so because my own personal history is tied in with Dooley because of the 13 men on the field.
You were on the field, right?
I'm the one that snapped the ball. Yeah.
So you're in the commercial.
Oh, let's fucking go. Dude.
Yeah, here it goes.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find him.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that.
And then at the end,
is that you?
Like that.
There's a close-up.
Oh, I'd thrown my helmet in anger because I thought we had lost the game, and then too many people on the field. Yeah, there it is. I'm at center, Big T. Here we go. Power 47 to end the game. Oh, no, they had 13 people on the field. Lack of attention to detail.
They may have gotten away with 12.
They could have gotten away with 12.
Because they didn't throw the flag for a while.
13 was gratuitous.
Oh, yeah, so I didn't even think about it. Tbob's in the... You can make out Tbob.
I had a helmet off. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
So it's just it's a funny commercial that they're running. Tommy Tuberville became a senator, so...
Yeah, but Tommy Tuberville went undefeated.
He did.
At Auburn, he went undefeated. He got cheated out of a national championship chance because of your BCS system back in 2003.
That they got to play in a very prestigious bowl game.
Like, I think it's hilarious that these football coaches of the South just love to become politicians. But, like, I do, as dumb as this is, I feel like you have to have more skins on the wall than Dooley. Like, I needed you to be a more successful college coach if now you want to be a senator.
To be fair, though, he was a lawyer before he became a football coach. He's a pretty intelligent guy. Like, Tommy Tuberville, I think, was just like, I'm going to go do politics. Dooley, like, if he wasn't a football coach, probably would have been a politician. Like, he went to law school. He did all this stuff. If you listen to him in interviews now, it's striking how you're like, this guy's really intelligent. I wish how was he not a better football coach?
But again, that's the problem. He chose to go the football route.
Yeah.
If he had gone the traditional route, then we wouldn't have a base to which to attack him for. He was in a position of leadership and he foundered.
To be fair, he was thrust into a position for which he was remarkably unqualified after Tennessee struck out on several other candidates. If he had gotten that job later, he would have been fine.
It is crazy because he didn't have a good record at Louisiana Tech when they hired him.
No, he didn't. He was like 7-6 or something.
So again, we can't. I mean, I'm sorry. As dumb as it is, I don't think football coaches should be politicians too often anyway. But like, I needed you to be better if you wanted me to take you seriously. But I don't take Tuberville very seriously either. To be fair,
at the end of the commercial, it has Him said, with results like these, your ass should be on the bench. That's crazy. That's a good. They did a good. It's a good ad. I'm looking at the Real Clear polling. They have Ossoff up 6 points.
That's closer than I would have guessed. Is he the nominee?
Ossoff?
No, he's the current senator. Is Dooley definitely the nominee?
It looks like he has the most.
Primary is on May 19th.
Okay. I think he is. I don't know. We shall see, Derek Dooley.
I'm trying to see.
I forgot about that whole UT Derek Dooley era.
It was a forgettable era.
Yeah.
To be fair,
that's good that you have.
Yeah, I wasn't watching much football back then, anyway. Though
it was a dark 15 years or so.
Hey, but all roads led to Heupel.
Yeah,
things are good. Vols are looking up.
He good. He good people. What else do we have on your list, brother?
The other clip. Have you seen Bill Maher talking to Marshawn Lynch?
Oh, I love this.
I saw the clip of it.
You didn't watch it?
About the strippers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
it's
that
just
clip,
we need a show with Bill Maher and Marshawn Lynch.
I mean, Marshawn Lynch is one of the most naturally charismatic human beings we've got. Have you seen his commercials? Has anybody been watching the new Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the new Game of Thrones show?
I'm waiting on more episodes to come out, and then I'm going to watch them in succession.
Probably pretty good.
I do that a lot.
See, that's crazy to me. I do that a lot. The older I've gotten, I hate binging.
I don't like
what?
I feel like I get diminishing returns. Because I'm like, I got to see what happens. And then I feel like I'm wasting too much time, and I start to get anxious. Whereas I love being able to talk about like the latest episode with everybody for a week and everybody's at the same spot.
So I think it's kind of a bell curve where if the show is awesome, I want it to be week to week.
Okay.
Like Severance. I think having a week between episodes of Severance is great.
Yeah.
If it's bad, well, I don't want to watch it if it's bad, but if it's fine, I just want to watch all of it.
That's fair. I think that makes sense.
So I think the better the show is, the more I am inclined to wait between episodes.
And with Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think length could matter because these feel like, I haven't looked it up, the runtime exactly, but they feel like kind of like 30 to 40-minute episodes. So you might be onto something by waiting a little bit longer. But it's been fantastic. But Marshawn Lynch has been doing commercials for those. Have you seen those online at all?
No.
Those are fucking funny. He has like a little squire with him on the golf course, and he's calling him sir, and he's like, "Cuckas." It's, I don't know. I just love Lynch and him and Meyer together as Bill Myers talking about the bulbous, exorbitant amount of ass and boobs that was in his face. It's incredible.
I actually have a commercial with Marshawn.
From when? What commercial?
I think it was a Madden commercial, like in 2013, 14, something like that.
So did y'all film separately, or were y'all filming on the same like set for the day?
No, we was on the same. Yeah, we had a couple scenes together and stuff. It was cool. It was a dope little commercial.
I haven't seen this.
Pretty dope.
Watch Arian Foster and Marshawn Lynch in the new. I don't have Facebook. Oh, here we go. Madden 25 trailer, but this came out in like 2012, and they called it Madden 25 because it was the 25th
Oh,
year.
I was so confused. She was like, okay,
and then people were like, what are they going to do in 2025? There was a clip in there of the gameplay of legendary Falcons running back Steven Jackson. Had a nice little run with the Falcons there.
Yeah, he had a nice little run with the Falcons. I sent some sarcasm.
No, it was just like you don't.
Wait, I don't remember Steven Jackson on the Falcons.
He was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I think he got 1,000 yards, didn't he?
Probably. They showed you, Marshawn, and like Adrian Peterson, and then there was just Falcons Steven Jackson there. I thought it was.
Aaron, you're a good actor.
I appreciate that, my brother. I wanted to pursue it afterwards, like in a real way.
Yeah.
But so I had a few auditions, and I made it all the way to like auditioning like a few shows. I auditioned all the way in front of the director. Like I saw, they give you a callback if you do a good job, and you get call back.
Yeah.
So I made it to like three or four rounds of that, and I didn't end up not getting the role. And but like I had a bunch of them. I had an acting coach. I was out there. I was really finna do it.
That always.
I was on a few shows.
No, sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like I wasn't that passionate to go through the grind of it. And at being successful at a young age, something has to really move you in order to work towards it.
That makes sense.
And it just didn't move me like that.
That's one of those things that I always wonder about because I love like behind the scenes of like movie stuff. I eat it up, and you always hear about you always hear from the actor who makes it through all the callbacks. 4 or 5 auditions, however many, and they get the job. And I'm always like, fuck, who was number 2?
Oh, thousands.
I mean, who got called back all those times only to kind of be left with the bitter disappointment at the end. That's a brutal thing to wrap your head around.
Yeah. And that's back when Hollywood was like popping. Like it's kind of dying now. But like if you go to LA, like any one of your waiters or any one of your service industry people, they have that's all their side hustle because they audition during the day or say they got all these small gigs or extras, stuff like that. It's a thing, man. But
how long was the makeup?
I'm trying to be a professional golfer now.
Oh, that's your thing now? You're going to be a professional golfer?
No. I just love golfing. I'm not going to be. I honestly think I could probably get a cue card if I grind it for it, but I don't, like I said, it doesn't move me to the point of wanting to turn it into a job. You know what I mean? Like, because then you have to compartmentalize, okay, like how I would do my day. I would wake up and I would chip for an hour, putt for an hour, work on drives, work on this, work on long game, work on short game, work on course management. I would have a daily schedule, and that would take the fun out of it for me. Because that's what I did with football. Like, wake up, grind, work on this, stretch, eat, weights, blah blah. All had a whole system, and that's why I don't really like football like that anymore. It drains you of the enjoyment of it.
No, I feel that. I mean, I never got to that level of football, obviously, or for that long. But like when I got done playing football, I didn't like casually watching football for a few years, probably. And now I do find that like the older I get, it's almost like with each year that I get farther from playing, I actually fall back in love with football more. But yeah, it took it took a little minute there.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I didn't watch for a good like 3 or 4 years. Like I would catch a game every now and then.
Yeah.
But like this past season, I was pretty locked in. I was watching teams, watching games.
Yeah, I think even just in the time I've known you, you've watched many times more football than.
Yeah. This last year was a big jump. It was a big. I was excited. I was actually excited.
Hell yeah.
Excited to watch, especially like college. I was excited to watch college, and that's how you kind of looks like. I look at the league now, and I don't recognize any names. Like everybody's new to me, and so I don't know who anybody is except for like the guys that are hanging around or the guys I knew. But so now that I'm watching college football, I'll be able to transition. Okay, this is so and so from, Cal, or this is so and so from you kind of.
Well, now it'd be like this is so and so from
Cal, Indiana,
Georgia Tech, North Carolina State. You remember he hit a nice run of 3 schools in there.
Or if you're Hollywood Smothers, like, do you count the 2 weeks he was at Alabama before going to Texas?
Darian Mensah, baby. I remember watching this kid at Tulane, Duke, Miami. Excited. I actually really am excited.
I mean, he actually played in all those places, but now you're going to have guys.
Yeah, that's actually what. So like those Sunday Arian Foster, running back, University of Tennessee, like that's are those going to be there? Are they gonna
what do you claim? Like, what does Darian Mensah claim? He won because he was awesome at Tulane, had a lot of success, but he won an ACC championship at Duke. But now
you should say your name, your position, and then whoever gave you the biggest bag for NIL.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Would be my answer.
Yeah, so he's a hurricane.
But yeah, it is like
Arian Foster, running back, Rogers Steel Company.
oh, you mean like the company that gave you the biggest bag.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't want to blow the top on the dirty little secret, but it's just the schools.
What do you mean?
Well, like any NIL past your $20 million allotted cap or whatever is supposed to be accounted for in legitimate NIL dealings. I suspect that's not always the case.
No, I mean, another guy that we'll talk about later with Greenland, but like the reason why LSU has so much money now, despite being a demographically very poor state on like a citizen-to-citizen basis, is because the governor, Jeff Landry, has turned on his entire political machine into committing money to LSU.
And they steal from children's hospitals.
That was old shit.
Were you there for that?
It was right after my time, but we've evolved so far beyond that.
Well,
That was
the old
That
days.
was like 500,000.
Yeah.
Like we're talking big money now. That won't even get you a fucking part-time starter anymore.
You don't know about the children's hospital story?
Nah, put me on.
I need to brush up on all the details. LSU booster gets 33 months in prison for embezzlement is the headline. A Louisiana man who pleaded guilty to embezzling more than $500,000 from a hospital foundation and giving some of the stolen money to the parents of 2 former LSU football players was sentenced to federal prison Thursday. U.S. District Court Judge John W. DeGravolis sentenced John Paul Funes, the former president and CEO of Our Lady of the Lake Foundation in Baton Rouge, to 33 months in federal prison.
You know what's crazy? I love JP. That guy, JP Funes.
He was good to you?
He was the man, dude. He was so kind to me. He was a massive fan of the radio show. He always treated the show great. Good guy.
Well, he's got to be out of jail now.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, that was from 2019.
Yeah, he's out. He served his time. You know, one of those white-collar prisons.
That's actually, we do these hypotheticals and stuff during the off season. That's the hypothetical. Would you go to prison for 33 months?
For a natty?
Yeah.
A white-collar prison?
Yeah, a camp.
If I didn't have kids, I would say yes unequivocally. I don't think I could say yes with small children.
So in 33 months, I'd be almost 32. I could still have kids.
Yeah,
at 32.
bro. You're good. To get a ring for Tennessee?
It would have to be like when the Todd Chrisley was talking about his prison that's like a joke and you can bring in Culvers and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd have to be that kind of deal.
I'm pretty sure that's like kind of what he went to as well. I'm not 100% on that.
We interviewed the Trump lawyer, what's his name? Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
And he said his prison, there was no fence. He's like, you if you wanted to, you could walk out. And he's like, that's how they would they would have people like go into the woods with trash bags full of McDonald's and stuff and bring it in. And they'd have somebody go meet them like in the woods and just bring it back.
I totally forgot we talked to Michael Cohen.
I mean, it was years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
We're coming up. When is 5 years?
So wait, what's
the end of this month?
What's to disincentivize us from doing some white collar crime then?
I mean, there's no guarantee you go there.
Oh, you may not get one of the nice prisons?
Yeah.
Oh, because
I assume.
You're not you might not be like a notable enough person to be like put in the cushy prison.
Because like also none of these guys, there's a million ways to hide the money you make off white collar crime so you can still access it afterwards. Finding more and more out in the current administration and admittedly many administrations before it, if you just donate to the cause and say that people are out to get you, that you get pardoned. I don't even know if like there's any way to legally get in trouble anymore for crypto crimes. I'm feeling more and more positive about my idea that I really want to do a scam coin. I want to rug pull a scam coin, but I want to tell everybody.
Nobody's stopping you from doing that?
I want to tell everybody it's a rug pull and still see if we could pull it off.
I said that shit the other day. We called this shit, I want to do a coin to see if people would do it.
I'd be like, guys,
rug pull.
We are going to rug pull. Trust me when I say this. This is a scam, and I bet you could still get enough people who are just hooked on the gambling aspect of it.
Do you remember
to where you could do it?
The app in the early ages of the iPhone, it was called like I'm Rich, and it cost $1,000 and didn't do anything.
No.
But you could buy it on the App Store for $1,000, and I think it was just a button that said "I'm rich," and that was the extent of the functionality of the app.
It's kind of genius. It's like a designer label almost on your phone.
Yeah,
just showing.
I'm sure people bought it.
I could because the real genius there is the person who designed the app for sure.
33 months is a while though. Now, if you get sentenced,
I wonder if he served the full time.
I think you only have to serve like half the time as long as you don't murder somebody, for the most part.
Hell yeah, dude.
So like 33 months, you're doing a year and a half. I mean, that's still a while, but you could make it.
I wonder when he got out.
Would you want, if you made this deal, would you want the title to come before or after you went to jail? So you can either have it before and then you can you can have that coast you through your time, or you can know when you come out, like, I'm going to have the greatest experience of my life?
Maybe it's the attention whore in me, but I want to be a martyr. I want to go to
you would
jail.
Want to go after.
No, I want to go to, yeah. Like, I want everybody to know that, like, basically I did the time for us to get a natty. So that the dark college football message board circles, like, I'll never be publicly acknowledged as such, but like the most rabid fans will know that I put the team on my back and was willing to serve time for the natty.
That makes sense.
I want the credit.
I just wonder if you would, it'd be easier doing your time knowing, like, when I get out, just imagine the glory that awaits.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a bummer to miss the games and shit. Like, it'd be cool to, like, you want to be there at the games, tailgating and whatnot. Like,
I'm not saying while you're in, when you get out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying that I want it to happen while I'm in there, but everybody knows that I was the reason why it happened. Oh, you want to miss it
entirely?
Well, I mean, no, the white collar prison, we're going to have TVs. Probably
I
nice
know,
TV.
but just go. I'm saying you can go after they win.
No, but I want to be a martyr.
You still can be. If it comes out in April, they win the title in January. It comes out in April that you embezzled all this money from sick children, and then you go to prison, and everybody knows it was you that helped get the corner that got the game-winning interception.
Okay, yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe that is the ideal there. Yeah,
you go to prison in September.
Yeah,
and then for a year and a half, you're out for the 2028 season.
Yeah, I'm into that. I can do that. Not now, not with kids, but pre-kids, yeah, absolutely. Plus, like, think about all the people you meet in white-collar prison that you could cook up schemes with.
Sure.
we could do some real, like, next-level financial crimes once we get out.
I sometimes listen to this podcast by a guy named Ian Bick. He went to prison when he was, like, super young, like 19 or something. And he does a podcast with people who have been to jail and all this different stuff. And he had Todd Chrisley on his podcast, and it's very entertaining if you haven't watched it. But Todd Chrisley talked about the time he was in prison, and it's very funny.
That's the Georgia family?
Yes.
I don't know much about them beyond they had a reality show that was, like, very over the top, and then they were...
So I've started watching the show from the beginning because I watched that, and I was like, I never watched the show, and it's very clearly just the fakest thing ever, but it is somehow, it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
They lived in, like, Alpharetta.
Yeah. I had one of my good friend's little brothers, I think, is like the son's best friend or something.
Really?
So you've probably seen him on the show.
Stella Blue Coffee's new canned lattes are here. Crafted with 100% Colombian coffee, each can is a good source of protein and comes in 2 smooth flavors, espresso cafe mocha and espresso sweet cream. Whether you're braving your morning commute or chasing your pup, Stella Blue cans are for those always on the go and for those who care. Stella Blue is more than just great coffee, it's about giving back. Big Cat named the brand after his rescue dog Stella, who inspired our mission to help more dogs find their forever homes. Every purchase supports animal rescue organizations, so when you drink Stella Blue, you're not just fueling your day, you're saving a dog's life. Try the new cans today, taste the difference, and make a difference. All new Stella Blue Coffee can lattes are available now at stellabluecoffee.com.
Hey, welcome back to PFT's Plane Corner. I'm actually in the plane corner. This is a corner of the hotel room. It actually does look kind of plain, too. So this is the PFT's Plane Corner. Hope everything's going good on Macrodosing today. Sorry, I miss you guys. I love you guys. I'm sure that Arian hasn't made any jokes about me not being here, and so therefore I won't make any jokes about Arian also not being on other podcasts that we've done at the last minute. So I'm glad we could agree on that as friends. So Iran's fucking around. But guess what? This is a great day for the F-35 truthers out there like me, the ones that stood up and said, hey, the F-35 is a great aircraft. I know you guys are saying it costs a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. This is why you have an F-35 in your arsenal. This is what it does. So Iran, they flew a drone. They did not do a drone swarm. They flew one drone, a drone, into the Arabian Sea towards a carrier, allegedly. We picked it up on radar. We sent an F-35 up there. F-35 might have already been in the air protecting the carrier. Caught it on radar. Maybe some help from Overwatch, from the big man in the sky with the eyes, and we spotted this drone a mile away, way more than a mile away, I think, probably 100 miles away. So the drone was apparently going at the carrier.
We said, hey, turn around. The drone didn't listen. The drone was being, what's the word I'm looking for? The drone was being insolent. We had a case of an insolent drone, would not listen to instructions and turn around. So we sent a F-35C up there. It's a carrier-based version of the F-35. And we targeted, I'm going to guess, with a AIM-120D Sidewinder missile. That's just a guess. I don't know. It could have been something else. I don't think that it intercepted it and then gunned it down. I think we probably shot it from a distance. So probably an AIM-120. It's an AMRAAM, or maybe an AIM-9X Sidewinder. And so we shot it down and kaboom. That's it. It was one drone. We fucked it up. If they try to bring more drones, bring it. I actually think we were playing some 5-dimensional chess here. There's lots of ways we could have gotten that one drone down. We could have sent our drone up there to take it out. We could have sent a E-18 Growler up into the sky to fire laser beams and shit at it and make it short circuit and crash into the ocean. But we didn't do that because I think we wanted to be like, hey, we'll shoot it down with an F-35. Then Iran thinks that's what we do if they try to send one of their patented drone swarms at us. But when they try to do that, then we send the E-18G Growler up there with the electronic warfare plane, and that's capable of just blasting these things out of the sky with electricity and radiation and invisible shit, making them all crash, as opposed to wasting, like, I don't know, $2 million on a missile that we shot at it. So, yeah, in conclusion, the F-35 rides again. Tough day for the haters out there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're wrong about the F-35, but you read what you wanted to read, and call it daddy. All right, that's PFT's Playing Corner. Love you guys.
All right, so we have our buddy Zach coming on. He had a video on Greenland that Arian saw, and he knows a ton about all sorts of inner workings with this kind of stuff and what was going on. So we were going to talk about Greenland, and then we did the interview, and it was one of the best interviews we've had on this show in a long time. So we ended up talking about the economy, housing, politics, like all sorts of stuff. It was awesome. We really enjoyed it. So
yeah. So enjoy.
Yeah. So here's Zach.
Before we get started, I just wanted to appreciate you having taking the time out your day, man. So I don't. How do you want to? Is it Zachary Loft or
Man, you can call me Josh. I don't care. You can call me Zach. It's fine. Like,
Okay.
It don't matter. That's a fire golf hat. That's a fire golf hat, by the way.
There we go.
I appreciate you, dog. Yeah, I was just informed that a whole bunch of white dudes wear it. I had no idea. I just
Easily one of the whitest.
The whites
hats.
love the
crazy.
upside down.
I had no idea. I just get burned.
Whites love the backwards text, upside down text.
I
Yeah,
had no idea. Yeah, I had
that
no
little seam on the rim. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
But yeah, so we welcome on the pod just Zachary. That's what Zachary.
Yeah,
And you're a realtor by trade? Is that what?
Right.
Okay, so you're a realtor.
been about a decade of selling homes. Got a team selling homes here in Delaware.
And so what originally attracted me to your page was came up on my feed on Instagram. I try not to spend too much time there, but it was a post about how you created this thing called a Trump tracker. And what it basically is you kind of track the housing markets and then the things that he's claimed or the things that he said he's going to do, and you kind of like, and it's real time, it's live, it's ongoing, and you keep
Right.
up with it, which is
Right. Yeah, just some numbers to the madness. Yeah.
that is wild, and that is extremely time consuming. I would guess on your end, right?
100%, man. 100%. It's a lot. Hundreds of hours of probably going to that stupid document now.
I want to get into that a little bit, but we originally brought you on because we want to talk about Greenland, and another video had came up in across from your video from my feed was this wild, big investigation board style about Greenland.
with Greenland, Ron,
and
Ghislaine Maxwell, the whole deal.
And the key players, and it was bad interest. So I just wanted you to break it down and stuff. But first and foremost, the Trump tracker. Where are you at with the Trump tracker? How is the housing market? What do you foresee? Like, just give me your elevator pitch on the entire shtick.
Right, we recording?
Yeah. We're live.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the space. This is fire. Again, I feel like I'm at the conference room table for like a really important meeting.
You couldn't be in a less important meeting.
No, I appreciate y'all creating the space. As far as the Trump tracker goes, starting there, two main things we're tracking: the economy and housing. I'm a housing nerd by trade, and I got really frustrated in 2022 when I started to see the demographic of dummies with a high school degree that couldn't buy a home no more. Like people literally making Wawa hoagies that I could get into a home for $1,000 mortgage. And now all of a sudden they're a manager and they couldn't afford to buy the very home they're in right now. So like the whole economy shifted and changed, and I'm a dummy. So I just started tracking and looking and learning and watching these stupid economic boards and all these boring ass meetings to try to get a bit of a sense of what's going on. And then I think like anybody who starts walking into the world of corruption, you start getting into history. And that was my next bout. And between the history of it and a little bit of know-how in the finance realm and housing, I created some indexes pretty much of how can we track real-time affordability versus what real-time people make versus a real-time normal home. And when has it been logistically affordable to buy one, live a normal life, raise a young family, have a car if you're so luxurious? And when was it least affordable? And all the indexes show that 2024, 2025, and as we sit in 2026, are the least affordable years to live or buy a home.
Ever.
Since right now we have the data all the way back to 1985. It gets a little weird once you go back past then. But more than likely, if I were to run the index into the 70s, I'd assume 77, 78, and 79 as we're walking in the stagflation and the savings and loan crisis before Reagan, that there was more than likely a time where it was similar. But to get you some perspective, the economic index par is 100. That means that the normal everyday young family can afford the normal everyday starter home that's available. It just matches perfectly. They make 80K, cost 80K.
Okay.
That number typically all the way from post-Bush, even in Clinton, was anywhere between 97 and 112. 97 and 112. Right now it's 81.
Jesus.
And that just basically means that people do not make enough to raise a young family, buy a median starter home. And we can get in the whole logistics of the fact that there aren't enough starter homes and companies are buying them and investors are ruining
that's what I was
shit.
going to ask. So I know you compile this data, right? Does it start to tell the story of why the shift happened and why everything is a little bit less affordable, or a lot of it less affordable nowadays?
Well, COVID, honestly, COVID for the housing market, COVID for the entire economy, 2008. 2008, we began printing money ad nauseum with no regard to this thing called inflation. It was a suggestion by BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. In 2008, he got called into the Federal Reserve to assist them. They ended up giving them like $130 billion in mortgage assets through the Maiden Lane LLCs. There were 3 of them. And we would do that 3 more times. COVID hits. We did it again. And we printed. And what this is doing is it's increasing our monetary base. More money out there. And when there's more money that flows, there's a weaker dollar.
Yeah.
When there's more of something, it is worth less. And when things are worth less, they inflate. And that's what we saw the stock market. That's what we saw with health insurance. That's what we saw cars, housing, everything. So inflation's the number one bane. The second is rates were really, really low and home prices were about 50% cheaper in 2020. Right before COVID, we were selling homes like hotcakes. And I've never had a hotcake stand. I don't know where that phrase comes from, but they were selling real fast, real easy. A lot of people could have afforded them. But then like clockwork in 2023, as soon as rates went up, as well as the prices had gone up, it locked a lot of people out. And right now you have 3 different groups of people. You have investors and boomers who are unaffected by it. K-shaped economy, some call it, because they do not care about high childcare costs. They do not care about the new car. And they don't care about housing or student loan or anything of that because they're done with that shit. And their home is worth about 80% more than when they bought it for 2 blueberry cobblers back in 1982. And so now they have all this net worth built up that they can use as collateral to go get whatever they want. They don't even worry about rates anymore. So you have that group, and they're still buying. Investors, boomers, all those people, they're good. They're liquid. The second group of people are the people that bought a home when it was cheaper that now can't move. Dude, I have 11 clients right now that cannot move because of finances. And the reason they want to move is because they want to get divorced. They can't move.
Yeah.
They don't have enough individual income, either one of them, to support rent or buying. And so they're stuck, literally having to live with one another. And you have that group of people who simply cannot afford to sell, literally. Even if they wanted all their equity, they can't afford to go anywhere. And then, of course, there's a third group, the loudest and arguably the least listened to group, the wannabe first-time home buyer, Gen Z generation, of which I've just grown a really strong connection to and seeing the struggle that they're going through. They're being told to get over a 6-foot wall that the boomers had to get over. Meanwhile, it's now a 35-foot wall with barbed wire. And the amount of income that they're making is not enough. The job market's getting eaten by AI. And so there's a lot of factors that lead to the unaffordability problems, but money printing hasn't helped. Unfettered government spending hasn't helped. Billionaire greed, usury, fractional reserve lending, none of that has helped. And it's all just led to today where it seems like we're in a you're going to rent and be happy economy in our future.
So that seems like a pretty like from my perspective, I always try to I'm unaffected by all of this, right?
Right.
The thing that I did in my life happened to take care of myself and my family for a long time, but I always try to put myself in other people's shoes, and I do hear young people talking about it's unaffordable, and so like what kind of remedy do you see or blowback do you see coming in the near future from this?
Nothing's gonna get done. I'll leave it there. Nothing's gonna get done. Or just real quick, like there's no like cycle right now to this housing market. We don't go through cycles in the housing market. The only 2 times home prices have gone down by more than 10% was 2008 and 1929. Great Depression, Great Recession. You cannot have prices go down without significant pain to the middle class. Doesn't happen because the middle class supports the housing market. And right now we have too many investors that own homes. We have way too many boomers who will never sell their homes.
Is that like Airbnb when you talk about investors that own home, shit like that?
It's Airbnb, it's long-term rentals, short-term rentals, vacation property, secondary homes they use in Airbnb out in the off season. It's these mom and pops a lot of times, not these gigantic BlackRock, big Blackstone companies, even though they own a lot. A lot of times it's the normal mom and pop walking out of the Walmart that's got 8 properties and wants 12.
Big T, you got anything about the housing market?
Yeah, man? I think I'm kind of the person you're talking about. I make good money. I could probably buy a house right now if I really wanted to, even though that'd be stretching it still. So like, I can't imagine if I, made 30 grand a year or whatever. But like I see houses that I know are $150,000 house and they're $400,000. And I'm like, well, right. Even if I could buy this, like I don't want to, because I'm paying 2.5 times what it cost 8 years ago.
At double the mortgage rate than it was 4 years.
At a 7% interest rate.
7%, geez.
So it's like, I don't even know. I don't know if there's a question in there. Do you think that that could maybe lead to some sort of change where even the young people who can buy houses choose not to?
Well, man, I think the change is going to be systemic. I don't have a magic crystal ball that's in operation. It's been in shop for the years from now. Anytime I try to make a prediction, I make it lightly. I don't know. But you look at the birth rate, you got a problem. You look at the marriage rate among Gen Z, you got a problem. You look at the affordability situation we got amongst all the working class. You look at the wealth gap growing. You look at the top 10% yielding over 52% of the consumer spend in our country. You look at healthcare costs. You look at the homeless problem. You look at geopolitics. We got a lot of issues moving around, not even mentioning the fact that other countries just don't trust our economy as much right now. We see it in the bond market. Rates are high. Investors are demanding more for holding our dollar. There's lots of problems. So I think the end result that ends in a quote unquote solution long-term is going to be something systemic. It could be as crazy as a revolt. It could be something as economically systemic as we just don't have enough new babies in our economy to sustain consistent and constant GDP growth. I don't know. Some people talk about the boomer sell-off in the early 30s. It may happen. Some people talk about AI is going to rip into everything, and then we go to UBI. I don't know, man. I'm going to save for a good robot and pray.
Yeah, I mean, is this where like, and again, I'm a general studies major from LSU, so I'm an idiot. But like,
nah, dude, I got thrown out of college. You're smarter than me.
So is this like, is this kind of going to put the invisible hand theory to the test? Because like, as I understand it, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but like in terms of wealth disparity, right? In like the 20s with the barons and the railroad lords and whatnot, like it was a massive gap. And then as I understand it, World War II kind of brought it to a more even standpoint that it had been in a long time. And then now we're back to a disparity that's even greater than it was in the time of the railroad barons and oil barons and whatnot.
Yeah, you're talking, Carnegie's and oil and automotive, railroads. This is a lot where people talk about JP Morgan, Rothschild type money. Some historians might disagree with me, but I'd point right there in the middle to 1933, the New Deal. FDR's New Deal was what really kept the Great Recession from continuing and being worse, Great Depression from continuing and being worse. Some say the Federal Reserve messed up in 31 with not bailing out a New York bank. All that to the side. Then World War II pops up, and a lot of jobs came from it. We really missed the jobs from World War I. That's a lot of what led to the issues that led into the 20s and the Great Depression that came from it. But the jobs that we were creating in World War II and the fact that we set our veterans up a little bit better on the way back through, we set up like the VA benefits and everything like that. They go get a home type. I think we learned from the first war. The wealth gap in the 50s is historically the best it had ever been. Since then, it grew ever so slightly up until the 70s. And then in the 80s, we started to see this consistent and constant bleed every 5 to 10 years of the wealthy having more and the wealthy having more and the wealthy having more. So you talk about like this invisible hand. Like, are you talking about like how markets will correct when things get too top heavy?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering like the same way. It's kind of like if we're going to go hands off and just let it naturally proceed where it's going. Obviously, the rich have accumulated more and more political power in that time, so they keep changing laws to help them out more and more. And like you said, even in inflationary times, it sounds like the big money are the big winners, while everybody else kind of loses out. So if we're just going to go hands off, it's almost like, does that just not result? Like you said revolution.
No,
like,
it doesn't. It doesn't result because we're not in a free trade market right now. This is not a free economy.
I'm saying, are we like just heading towards another world war? Like is it going to become so unsustainable? I mean, there's a lot of elements at play right now that feel like things are a little tense right now.
Yeah, world war, civil war, internal revolt, something. Again, I don't know what the magic crystal ball says, but when there's and to quote a Ray Dalio, when there is a large gap between the haves and the have-nots, that is when you see these systemic changes happen to empires. And we are the world empire right now. It feels like we're doing a great job with our PR team to make people feel like everything's okay, but the undercurrents really suck right now. So no, I don't think there's a free natural way that it comes about being better. Because if we look at Reaganomics, we ripped out legislation. We destroyed union strength. We look in the 90s. We sent jobs overseas with NAFTA, Glass-Steagall Act, ATT Communications Bill. Then we get into Bush. We immediately have the Patriot Act. We have an SEC margin rule change that allows big billionaire banks to invest money they didn't have. Then we get the 2008 crisis, 2010 Citizens United. Now they can lobby as much money as they want. And we start money printing for the first time through quantitative easing. It's the first time we've ever done it. And it's essentially holding assets off market. They are held with our central bank. And when you are holding assets off market to the tune of over $6 trillion worth of assets in bonds and securities, you are tampering with the free market. 2008 was supposed to be worse. 2020 was supposed to be worse, but we keep throwing the Band-Aid of money printing on it. So as long as we can keep printing money and keep having things work, and by the way, right now, we're printing about $40 billion a month. We've gotten back into the money printing silently. There was no big megaphone, but we started doing it again. As long as we can keep printing money and keep the game up, it's like end stage Monopoly. Everyone's just waiting for the game to end. We know who's going to win.
So
do they have? Go ahead, Big T.
Well, I was just going to ask. So, do you think, obviously 2008 is a while ago, but 2020 is still pretty recent. So, do you think if the government had kind of been more hands off, maybe the economy would have bottomed out more in the immediate future? But do you think things would be better right now?
I think we're more talking about 2008. If we were to leave our hands off, it would have fixed itself. If we left hands off in 2020, who knows, man? Because then we're getting into a lot of weird conversations around what's the legitimacy of the virus, who is profiting off of the virus, the propaganda around the virus, and all this different stuff of what's planned, what's not, Bill Gates, all this wild stuff that I'm sure a bunch of people listening to this will say, well, no, it's this, that, and the third. I don't know. But to say like economically, if we didn't go and print a bunch of money and drop the Fed rate to 0 and allow people to just borrow money at next to nothing, that led to all this incredible inflation we're seeing right now, yeah, prices would not be as high as they are right now if we were hands off. Would we have survived it? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's meetings from 2008 with a man named Henry Paulson. Henry Paulson would get on the line with Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, September of 2008, before the second big bank crash happened. And he would also get together 11 huge bankers, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Stanley, all the big dogs, into DC on 2 days' notice. And this is right as the bank has crashed. And there's this quote from this meeting that came from the then president of Bank of America, Ken Lewis. He did a great PBS interview. And in this meeting, he said there was this document that Henry Paulson, Treasury Secretary for Bush, said he had to sign, or he was going to be, quote unquote, not get the call next time. He was going to be kicked out of the big boys club. And that document pretty much said, hey, we're about to give you somewhere between a cut of $120 billion. And you're going to take it, you're going to put in your top line account, and that's it. We're not going to require you to give it to anybody. We're not going to require you to set up any funds, any grants, any relief for the people that are jobless right now, losing their home right now. And we know now a lot of that money went to executive bonuses.
Jesus.
And so that money that was printed didn't even go to solve the problem. And if we look at the canteen effect from the early 1700s, we know why. The canteen effect is the effect of whenever we add money to the monetary base, only 3 people get the money: the banks, the government, and asset holders. And that's why you see, like, Arian, that's why you said, like, the market feels different for me. You own assets more than likely. The asset could be your name, asset could be your home, asset could be your stocks, assets could be gold, silver, fart coin. Like, it's all considered an asset. If it grows with inflation, it's an asset. And those that don't have assets right now are wondering how the hell they're going to get started. And that's where I think the crack of this economy sits at right now. You have asset holders pre-2020, and you have asset holders or non-asset holders post-2020. And those two lifestyles are completely different.
So we almost have to reach a point then of dissatisfaction akin to the Great Depression, where that spurs in the rise of an FDR. Like, even if we take war out of it, like where everybody is so dissatisfied that there's enough, and it's hard to think about anything being united now, but there's enough unification to affect some, like, real, like you said, systemic change. I guess what I wonder, though, is, and I think about this a lot, it's like, can we ever reach that amount of passion if we still, like, nowadays, like, even if you're one of the people that doesn't have assets, there's a good chance that you have internet, you got a nice TV, you like to play video games. Like, there are some interesting ways to make life very comfortable, maybe in ways that it wouldn't have been during the Great Depression, even though the disparity is the same. That kind of disincentivizes action
during the Great Depression. They didn't have Poly Market. How are they supposed to stay entertained? Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, God, this is fascinating. It's deeply it's driving me to even more cynicism and apathy, but it's fascinating.
But that's where the systemic thing comes in, because I just don't think there's anything free or natural around where we sit at this moment.
Yeah.
And nothing sounds more natural than AI automation and hypertech security cities and robots and data. Nothing sounds more natural than that. So we're just tackling on more wildness. And I think a lot of people share your sentiment, brother. It's just like, you get to the bottom of the rabbit hole and you're like, man, it's kind of dark down here.
Yeah, I've lived there for a long time. So I want to pivot a little bit, but kind of not really, now that this kind of is all connected. The video I came across when you talk about Greenland, and you in front of this big whiteboard that says Freedom Cities, right? And I followed it. I was like, yo, I was into it, right? Freedom Cities, and basically talking about the billionaire class and how they want to create these zones in which they could just free play with no regulation. So I kind of want you to break down your little.
You want me to get schizophrenic with you?
Yeah, please do, because it was fascinating. I was following it with the whole Prospera and the Honduras, and it's fascinating shit. The floor is yours,
man. I don't even know where to start. The Greenland thing is interesting because it's just another example of, we get told it's this, we get told it's that, and then when it comes down to it, it's for something different. We saw the same playbook play out for Venezuela. The first thing is, oh, they're bringing crime into our country, and then it's like, oh, well, we get drugs from them. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, they got oil. And whoa, they got a lot of crypto. Oh, wait, actually, we're going to get our billionaire friends in here to restore all this. And we're actually going to take ownership over this country. Cool. All right. And they, like, slow bleed us into it. Greenland, I'm trying to watch those same patterns and try to realize them in real time before we look back and realize, oh, it was for this, actually. So Greenland's interesting because we've been going after it for decades and decades and decades. It's nothing new. But as of 2018, Trump said, we're going to go get Greenland. First time we've said it really in modern history. And it didn't come from him. It came from this guy who was a friend of his named Ron Lauder. Ron Lauder. Ron Lauder is a really interesting fellow. He's a billionaire. He is a very good friend of Jeffrey Epstein and Les Wexner. He's been networking with them through a group called the Mega Group since 1992. In the Epstein file release documents, I've now found about 47 different points of communication they've had, meetings, calls, emails. They were no stranger to one another. And also no stranger is Trump to Ron Lauder, because Ron Lauder was the one who told him, go get Greenland. And so through through those years they tried, they weren't able to make it happen. They waited a term, and now we're back. So Ron Lauder goes ahead and says, let's get Greenland. He creates an LLC out of Delaware in April called Greenland Development Partners, Ron does. And then in November, decides to go invest. Yeah, this literally just happened. November now of 2025, 3 months ago, he goes and invests in the Greenland Water Bank using that LLC. So my brain's like, okay, why now? Why are you investing in it now? You've been calling for this since 2018. Why now? And then you start, again, you go down the rabbit hole and you're like, oh my God. Okay, so freedom cities. Freedom cities are charter cities. Have you ever played BioShock?
Yeah, hell yeah.
BioShock, underwater city,
Yeah.
Rapture. That's a charter city. International law, free of, you can make your own laws, make your own regulations, 1% taxes for the billionaires.
So Lauder's the Andrew Ryan in this story?
Yes, Lauder's our Andrew Ryan. Well, I'd actually make that Peter Thiel in this scenario. Okay. So why Greenland? Well, it's recently been reported that Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and several other tech billionaires have been investing in it also, mainly so that they can create a freedom city. What is a freedom city? Well, Trump back in 2023 announced that in his pre-campaign for a second term that he was going to create 11 of them in America. And they are low corporate red tape, low tax, billionaire playgrounds where they can set up corporate towns for their entities. Meaning we can get you cheap groceries. We can get you lower healthcare, better benefits, higher pay. But you work for us and you live in this town. That's how that works. And they want to create those in America, but we have to test it somewhere else. Then we get into Honduras. So back in 2011, we have Juan Orlando Hernandez meeting with Paul Romer, who created the idea for charter cities. He had a TED talk about it in 2009. They bring him down to Honduras and say, we want to do this here. How do we do this? And the president of the Congress at that time in Honduras was Juan Orlando Hernandez. Juan Orlando Hernandez would present what's called the RED, the RED, a zone for economic development that could house something like a charter city. And they presented it to the Supreme Court and it got denied 4-1. So a month and a half later, Juan Orlando Hernandez dismissed those 4 judges that said no, brought in 4 judges that would say yes, and then it passed. Yay. Completely clean, normal, no problems, right? So they call it the ZEED now. It's not the READ, it's called the ZEED. And the ZEED gets met on in 2017 when a man named Eric Breimer meets Juan Orlando Hernandez in Honduras. Eric Breimer owns Prospera LLC. Prospera LLC is a company that creates AI-backed super charter cities known as freedom cities. So they're trying to put a freedom city in Venezuela. They get accepted. They're going to call it Prospera. They begin building. And then in 2022, guess what we go and do? We arrest Juan Orlando Hernandez for guns and drug trafficking. So the new president, she comes in, Castro, says, we're not doing the ZEED thing. ZEED thing's awful. This is one of the most destructive policies I've ever seen. Get rid of it. And so all the tech billionaires sued Honduras for 1/3 of their country's value, $10.8 billion. Their GDP is like 36. So they're trying to bankrupt the entire country. And who's behind this? Prospera LLC is funded by Pronomos Capital. Pronomos Capital was created by Patry Friedman. Patry Friedman is the grandson of Milton Friedman, and he was big on charter cities. He actually called it seasteading. He wanted to do it out in the ocean just like BioShock, but apparently it's really expensive, so they didn't do it. So he loves charter cities. He's got a fun setup for it with a company that wants to do it and a country that wants to do it. So we're all good until the new president comes in and says no, and now they're suing. So they're pivoting. They're pivoting to Greenland. And the reason they're pivoting to Greenland is for the exact reason they wanted Honduras. They want to be able to test new economic ways of development so they can bring that model into America with 11 freedom cities. And the way that they're orchestrating it isn't just at the money level, it's also in the cabinet. because Peter Thiel is one of the founders of PayPal. David Sachs, the current AI crypto czar for Donald Trump, is one of the founders of PayPal. Elon Musk, Doge, the guy who just got a contract with the Department of War for their use of Grok, his AI. SpaceX contracts, Tesla contracts. He's one of the founders of PayPal. And I wanted to figure out why early November did Ron say, now's the time to invest in Greenland. Well, then we meet Ken Howery. Ken Howery, in the first week of November, is appointed the ambassador to Denmark. Denmark owns Greenland. Ken Howery is one of the founders of PayPal. And so you connect all these dots and you're like, okay, I see why Ron went there. I see why we're going there. And when you look at what's going, the holdup in Honduras with Freedom Cities, like, okay, I understand the pivot. And that's where I think Greenland is being touted as this that's Venezuela, oils and precious minerals and strategic positioning between China and Russia. And multiple things can be true. But I think at the end of the day, it's there's a lot of carrots on sticks so that we don't look at what's actually happening. And that's billionaires building a playground.
Yo, so I'm not like a conspiracy theorist in the least, right? But the way you painted this picture is extremely appetizing. I'll be honest. Like,
yeah.
Pause. I'm captivated by this shit, dog. Like, now, where did the seed from this come? Is this just you individually piecing this shit together? If this is you,
we were piecing together Prospera and Honduras for a little bit. We had done some deep diving. I never made an episode about it, about the charter cities being built out. And then I saw an article about the billionaire that influenced Trump's move on The Guardian. And it was this Ron guy. And so I started deep diving him and learning his name and who he's a part of. And by the way, a deeper thing on Ron, outside of the Epstein connects, Ron's daughter, Jane Lauder, both of them are the father and daughter heirs of the Estee Lauder cosmetic company, multi-billion-dollar makeup and cosmetics company. And they own a conglomerate of a bunch of others. Jane Lauder, Ron Lauder's daughter, is married to Kevin Warsh, and Kevin Warsh is about to be the new central bank Federal Reserve chairman. So they're getting control of the central bank too.
All I keep thinking about as you talk is just like how stupid all the things we argue about are, you know, just with people.
Dog, man,
like it doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. This blue, they pin us between blue and red so they can chase green. That's the pattern every time.
Oh, I like that. It's a good saying.
What a bar.
It's all about money and power. Like you can go all the way back to the Bible and what Jesus hated. He hated people that use their leadership to be authoritarian so they can make money and have power. And he hated the money changers that were overcharging these people who are coming in for religious practices. Like he hates greed. He hates manipulation of power. And you see it in every historic text leading up to today. So it's not a new pattern, but we just like kind of live in this. Like I deployed overseas, right? I was in the army. I did the Afghanistan thing. I was a big patriot, big football fan. Aaron, when we connected online, I'll let you know you won my football league for me. My fantasy league was dependent on your breakout year, brother. Like I'm full bred and circused up. And you mentioned like TV and video games and other things like DraftKings and other stuff like sports is here to entertain. So we don't talk about shit like this. Yeah, we need to be entertained. We need to have some fun. We need to be able to connect. But a lot of the entertainment today is solo entertainment. We can do it all on our phones, all alone. We can get all of our entertainment internally. And it's leading to just it's dark. It's dark in the rabbit hole. But you're right. We argue about some really, really important stuff. But at the same time, we're arguing with the wrong people. We shouldn't be arguing with each other. We need to talk to people doing this stuff.
I say it's top bottom, not left right. And
right, direct the anger.
They'll feed us these social issues that matter, but they really don't matter. Like if what really matters is healthcare, housing, shit like that. And they're doing it. What's crazy is when you're piecing all this shit together, they doing it right in front of our faces, and they have these little and they just laughing and they don't give a shit. And that's infuriating, but it's wild to see in real time. Like that, I would have never. I got too much shit going. I'm not gonna put together what you just
100%.
That shit.
That's what I want to do now. That's what I want to do. The team is selling homes, and we got income coming in. I got my boy Joe and Sean. We're rocking the media side now. I'm able to take my free time and watch stupid, boring meetings and councils and the Davos Economic Forums and the White House press secretary briefings, so I can weed through the bullshit because we're just getting fed bullshit.
Agreed 1,000%. So while I have you here, I want to continue on because you're a big BlackRock is
He's big.
BlackRock is a huge,
very large.
You a funny dude, man. But BlackRock is like a huge. You're a big critic of BlackRock. I don't know enough about.
No, Larry Fink's the best, brother. BlackRock's my fave. I follow them on Instagram.
Talk to me about.
They never accept my collaboration request.
That's awesome.
Oh, you tag them in your posts.
Actually, no. They at some point, I don't know if they did it for their whole channel or just me, but there was like a year in 2024 where I was unable to tag them anymore. I don't know what happened.
They block you?
Man, I hope. Man, that means I'm on a list somewhere. I don't want to be on the BlackRock block list.
That's hilarious. Now. So talk to me about BlackRock for the people that are very, people got shit going on. People live lives. Talk to me about the BlackRock rabbit hole and what you found interesting.
Well, I mean, the first thing that put me onto it was they have an advisory share or more, which is a more than 10% ownership share in 96% of the S&P 500. So 96% of the top performing American companies on our publicly traded stock market are, BlackRock's getting a vote at their meetings.
Damn.
If they so choose. And that's in combination with State Street, Blackstone, Vanguard. They're all arms of the same beast. So when you combine their total ownership in some of these companies, I mean, you're talking 20, 25, 30+% ownership by just these select few companies.
Is it just an investment firm?
So they are a mixture of hedge firms and private equity. And what private equity specifically does is think of it like a stock is public equity. Mm-hmm. Private equity is investments that are off market. So they're the ones that bought and bankrupted Toys R Us. They currently, Blackstone owns Subway. Blackstone bought Jersey Mike's, right? And to the NFL side of things, you wonder why Jersey Mike's is like the #1 brand of the NFL now all of a sudden. And it's because they got bought by Blackstone.
Trying to do it to college football.
PE's trying
exactly.
to do it.
So all they do is they buy these companies and then they use their connections and systems to build out a more profitable monster for them that they can resell at a higher value. They get it's called like 20-2, this incredible loophole where they're able to profit 20% of the gains. And to break it down simply as to what just BlackRock is the biggest of them all. They're worth over $13 trillion in assets that they manage worldwide. And that by itself kind of sucks. But when you whittle down to the fact that they also are the influencers of the World Economic Forum, they implemented the business social credit score, the ESG score. They created that. When you look at the fact that Larry Fink created the collateralized mortgage obligation in 1984, and that collateralized mortgage obligation was the style of investment that led to the subprime mortgage crisis of 2008. And then when that crash happened, who got called by the Federal Reserve to come clean up the mess?
The guy who created
Larry Fink. Right, the same guy. So you look at his slow takeover of stocks in 2001 in the SEC. We saw this shift from big banks and Wall Street running things to private equity running things. And now private equity has been slowly buying stocks, homes, childcare centers, healthcare centers, senior care centers, restaurants, games, entertainment. They're buying power grids. They bought an investment trust in India. They are opening up the Dallas Stock Exchange with their funds here soon. They bought the Panama Canal ports. They're buying full infrastructural items in places like Australia and Sweden, and even in Virginia, just bought power plants. They're trying to own everything that allows our Earth to rotate. anything that has to get powered on, they want to make money off of it. Like they're the ones that are already contracted to go clean up Ukraine when that battle's done. It's nuts how much money they have and the influence they have, and the influence is the big part because Larry's had an insane amount of geopolitical influence. He's done some incredibly nasty things, and he's the richest man on the planet. And whenever you see him on Bloomberg, everyone's blushing and twiddling their thumbs together because they're like, "Oh my God, Larry!" And he's the fucking Antichrist. So,
I got a question, Zach. So like, so these companies like BlackRock stuff, I don't know if you could call them American companies or corporations because of some of the international investments and everything that you just referenced, but like, when you look at it on a global scale, and I don't know if this question is too big, but I hear about companies like Tencent out of China, and they've been buying into a lot of different areas, or something like the Saudi investment firm. Like, is this we
investment into America.
We just think about these things in terms of like governments competing over power, but are we in the dystopian corporate Blade Runner sci-fi age where have we reached the point where it really is just corporations carving up the world, like different corporations originating out of different countries?
Bro, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. That is the current path of lily pads we're on, and I think it'd be sooner than 2077. It like complete corporate plutocracy, technocracy, feudalism, whatever words you want to put to it. Like economic authoritarianism for sure. There's no doubt in my mind we're heading in that direction. And to the like countries versus companies, a lot of times it's the same thing. Like, look at what we're doing with Greenland. Billionaires are the ones suggesting that we have these mass movements. How much is it costing us to run this operation that we're running right now in just PR, military movements, meetings that are happening, people's times is getting taken up, our relationships with the EU? How much is going into this right now? And it's based off a couple billionaires that want it.
It's insane.
And that's happening in every single sector across everything, not just this. It's happening in healthcare. It's happening in fitness. It's happening in sports. Dog, I hate that I cannot turn on a game of watching my Cavs lose without being told I need the drink. I need this medication. This will make you feel better about yourself. By the way, you want to gamble on how many threes they'll make? It's just like nothing is for the betterment of humankind. And it's all to the benefit of billionaires to keep us weak, to keep us impotent, to keep us listening to the Sabrina Carpenter bullshit on all of our pop radio stations and calling anybody who speaks out against it an anti-Semite, a conspiracy theorist, an anti-patriot. Like, fuck all the stupid Christian nationalist rhetoric. That's where it all stems down to. You got a few people that want to orchestrate their ideology on the people because money and power isn't enough for them. They want to make sure that we live by their rules and we are their profit machines. And I think that's what they're wanting to walk toward. I don't think that's the definite concrete path, but if they could have their way, I think they would do it in a heartbeat.
It's so funny because, and then you have somebody like, I'm from Louisiana, and here's Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, named special envoy to Greenland. He's just like, I hear they like to hunt and fish. Hey, we do too, man. Like, that's culinary diplomacy.
The hunting in Greenland's probably decent. Are there any? I mean, it might be too cold. Maybe it's terrible hunting out in Greenland.
Oh, fuck, man. And they're definitely trying the military angle because he wrote an entire piece in the New York Times the other day that was all about Greenland being the key to the Golden Dome. And like I said, multiple things can be true. But that's,
of course. Yeah. And like, who's the private contractor that's going to benefit from that dome being built? Right? How much money is going to go toward building a base or building infrastructure around our military even being there? How many jobs are we going to have to supply it? There's so many different things money-wise that go into these seemingly meaningless foreign endeavors from Greenland, Venezuela, Israel, the Congo. You can go down the list for years, Iraq, Afghanistan. It's like, when have we spent billions on us having better lives? Like, when have we spent billions of dollars and not made sure it went to stock buybacks, right? I fail to see a politician that loves the people, especially in the executive office, and that stands for the last 10 that we've had.
I agree 1,000%.
Do you think that?
Right.
Do you have any opinion on, like, with the intersection of the rise of AI in all its various forms, and obviously the people who are already kind of pushing these levers of control, they're also the ones that a lot of times have the most access to it or funding or creating a lot of the AI. Like, do you view that as a tool that's just going to deepen all of this? Sure. Their effectiveness?
I mean, it's a tool like anything else. A tool can be used for good. A tool can be used for bad. Yeah. The internet can be used for playing Farmville, and it can be used to traffic drugs across the country. Yeah. It doesn't mean the internet's bad. It's a great tool. Cryptocurrency, great tool, can be used for bad. AI, great tool, can be used for bad. I think right now the infrastructure, the way it's set up, is they're going to create a commune of consumers who are going to fund these data centers being built and utilized. That's going to hit everyone's electric bills. They are going to continue to buy up properties, which is going to whittle demand, and that's going to keep home prices high, assets prices high, and they're going to continue to flood our market with money, so stocks and everything like that keep going higher. And when you have AI that's doing most of the trading now in world markets, when you have AI that's already taking up a lot of entry-level white-collar jobs, people like Elon would say that whole market's going to get wiped out. I don't know if I'm fully in agreement with that. But I mean, even look at what we're doing. Here in about 2 years, it's going to be indistinguishable if this was AI or not.
Yeah.
It is. So to say it's not going to affect things, I think is a stupid take. But to also say it's going to be the world's Death Star, I think is also a stupid take. I think there's definitely people in control of it that would love for it to be a Death Star. But I think there's also a lot of good people out there, a lot of good that can be done. And frankly, because we're competing with other countries, it's going to happen. So we might as well find a way for it to benefit society in some way. I'm trying to hold out hope, but again, the past patterns haven't shown that we use these great tools for good.
I think you.
Yeah. So like, go ahead.
Sorry, I think you may have just answered this a little bit because the answer just is AI. But what do you think the average person is missing the most when they talk about the economy, or they listen to people talk about the economy and they just don't, they don't know what to make of, up or down, left, right? Like, what is the biggest thing that people miss when they have those kind of discussions?
Though it's orchestrated by it, so inherently it has to come with the conversation, I think people just make it too political. It's numbers, it's markets, it's social interactions, it's legislation, it's people. The economy is an interaction. We're in the time economy right now. There are people giving their time to listen to this in exchange for some form of value. It could be distraction, could be knowledge, could be they just love hearing our voices, like where they're getting something out of this and they're exchanging their time for it. We do the same thing with money, and that scaled over the entire country and world is how the international and national economies work. And to sum it up in one 30-minute propagandized filled speech that's made to make you feel like the economy's great because any president wants you to feel like their economy's great isn't the best place to get your economic sourcing from. It's not the best time to just tune into a news program and listen to a headline and then spout it at the office. Because I think that's what causes so much of the seeming disagreement between us as Americans is a lot of us just take a headline and we spew it. And then a person that knows nothing about the subject or has a bias toward the subject is going to have some form of reaction to that. And then you spiral that out just like the economy at scale across the entire country with these algorithms locking people in echo chambers and people working from home and not even getting as much physical connection. We see Gen Zs going out like 70% less than prior generations. We're not connecting. We all think we hate one another. I kind of got off track from the question, but
no, I think that's all. That's all true.
Yeah, I think you're on point actually, and that's a good segue to the question I was going to ask anyway. Is like, all right, you're very knowledgeable, and you do your due diligence. It seems. I'm curious if you had a magic wand, how do you correct the course? How do you change tracks in order to go towards the pathway of like you said? I also believe that the majority of our leadership in this country's history don't really care about people,
right?
The people. And so how do you have a magic wand, Zachary? What do you,
a magic wand gets waved and Congress is wiped out. Every single person's out. Every single state and every single jurisdiction is going to revote in their Congress people, Senate and representatives. And when they come back in, there's going to be term limits. There's going to be age limits, and they're not allowed to take any money from any corporation or foreign entity. That would be number one. Number two is we're going to pause all foreign aid until we're fixed domestically. I don't care what's going on. We're not the world security guard, and we don't need to have 150 plus bases worldwide to assert our dominance anymore. We can do that on Facebook. We're spending way too much money in the military. We're spending way too much money on everything that's keeping our debt high. We need to get our the deficit down significantly. And to be frank with you, if I had a magic wand, the third thing I would do is I would revamp the entire education system. We're being taught BS really from 5th to 12th grade. Nothing that's strengthening our labor force, nothing that's bringing fulfillment. There's no emotional intelligence. There's no communication skills. There's no finance abilities. There's no way for people to just be able to interact with one another. And I think we could teach our people how to also be proper labor force members, understanding AI, understanding tech. And frankly, if I have a magic wand, I would just bring everybody in the country to the big boy table. We're just tired of being lied to, right? We're tired of being lied to. We're tired of being told it's one thing when it's another. We're tired of being told we're the good guy, and then we look back 10 years like, oh man, we're just there for this shit. We're there for poppy fields, Afghanistan. We just want to get brought to the big boy table. Like, if we're the villain, just like tell us we're the villain, and we'll be like, all right, cool, let's do some villain shit. Like, it would make more sense.
It's crazy. I'm a big fan, dog.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of you, big dog.
Yeah, me as well, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
Do you have anything else that you just like would love to talk about? Because I've enjoyed listening to you and just explain things to me. If you've got anything else on your mind.
Listen, the biggest mystery, I've been thinking about this probably last 2-3 months since the weather got colder. It's been dumb cold this year. Remember, wasn't it like I don't know where you guys stay, but out here in Delaware on the East Coast, I feel the last couple of years we've had like random 60, 70 degree days in like January, February. Like we're not getting any break. And so I've been thinking heavy on how you got as quickly as you did down to a single handicap in golf. Because the moment it's warm again, I got to figure out how to do it. That's my main concern.
You got to move.
That's the main mystery of life for me.
There's data. There's data on handicaps and retention of handicaps due to location.
Oh, no way.
Just numbers.
What is it? Right now,
because you can golf all the time.
Year-round golf. So look, it's 60.
Whoa.
It is 63 degrees where I'm at right now.
This is discrimination.
I guarantee he's headed out after this.
It is.
I'm a victim. Yes. Okay.
You are a victim of your
I'm a victim of my location.
Absolutely.
And Delaware's got nothing cool. We don't got no like indoor ranges.
You are the first person I've ever met from Delaware.
Yeah, you've officially met 30% of Delawareans. I make that up right here. Right here in this basement. Yeah. No, we've got just over 1 million people. You guys probably got more of that in your town.
Well, I stay in the outskirts, so not really, But
sure. You need to come out. You need to come out to our beaches, man. We got great golf in Delaware.
I'll pull up on you.
We got solid golf in Delaware. Dog, we do a podcast on the course.
I'll pull up on you, dog.
Listen, the beach golf here is really good. Like get down to Dewey Beach, Rehoboth Beach. It's actually really solid.
I'm down. I'm always down to try new things in Delaware. Wasn't on
my list. You gotta get me one of those hats,
man.
That rocks with me. You gotta get me one of them hats. Yeah, that fits my brand.
Y'all been on my white boy hat all podcast.
Did you seek that out?
I had no idea.
That an ad that you clicked on? Where'd you get that?
On Amazon. I'm just scrolling. I'm looking for something that was black and white with like a little off-white to match a fit that I had. Okay. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. And it say birdies on it. Perfect. I didn't think nothing of it. I had no idea. And everyone now I was like, that's the whitest hat you got.
No, it's not what I would have guessed you would like.
I like birdies, Big T.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And you're a 7 handicap now, Arian?
7, yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah. It's got to feel good. But at the same time, I've heard as your handicap gets lower, you just hate golf more.
Yeah, so
you're like, I can do it.
So and then you don't. It's like one of my buddies, Neil Brennan. He used to write for the Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. And I had a podcast with him back in like 2018, and he said the realest shit ever. He said I've never been on a private plane, a person who owned it, that they didn't land and say that's the one I really want. That's a golf handicap. Yeah, I'm a 7, but I golf with a 3, and I golf with a scratch. And then the dude there's a 3 handicap, he's trying to get the scratch. Due to the scratch, he's trying to get the plus. There's no there. Enjoy your round.
It's a terrible cycle. I know it, and I still want it. I'm at a 13 right now. I'm around the corner.
Yeah, we're all addicted. Like I'm at this I'm a member at this course, and there's these 2 cats that are members there, and they're from China, and really good dudes, man. And I go like almost every other day to the range to get to work in, and they're there every single time grinding it out, and we just looking at each other like, yo, we had a problem. We're
not getting paid to do any of this.
and then
this isn't benefiting my lifeline or my genealogy at all.
100%. And like my philosophical mind gets to thinking, I'm like, we're all just grown ass men putting a ball into a hole like little kids. 100%. Like it's a game. We're
crazy. All just meat sacks with a computer in between our ears, floating on a marble in a vacuum.
It's a great Star Trek quote. Ugly bags of mostly water. I don't know if you're a Trekkie.
Ugly bags of mostly
water. My Trekkies will get that out there. Yeah. But hey, my brother, it's been a pleasure. If you ever want to get back on, I will have you on all the time, brother. You are a very rare human specimen that can have your bandwidth for all that shit.
That's crazy.
You just off the top of your head is insane, dog. It's insane.
Listen, it's the autism. Thanks, my pop. Big shout out, pops.
And Tylenol. We appreciate you on, brother. If there's anything you plug, go ahead, man. Where people can find you, do your thing.
Instagram's where I'm posting most, and we do like deeper dives of stuff, kind of like what we talked about today. We just did one on the new Federal Reserve chair. On YouTube and Spotify, just my name. But yeah, dude, like anytime you guys want to have me on, I love these group conversations. I love just being able to be a mirror for whatever you guys got going on, because I do spend the time researching it. I'm a nerd for it at this point. So
yeah, very impressive, bro. It's extremely impressive. Like
God, brother.
I don't have
all
the
God.
time, and you are a wealth of knowledge, and it was dope getting to know you, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, anytime.
Thanks, Zach.
Oh, man. So that was fucking awesome, man.
He's the man.
That dude is.
That's a lot.
I don't have the bandwidth to fact check all that shit, nor the desire. But it's just impressive that he just off the top of his head is just like blah 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 blah. I don't think I've never seen no shit like that before. Usually, like when people like that, they're a PhD in something. Like I've talked to scientists where they're just like, yeah, this, that. Like he's just doing this shit for fun. Like he just sits back and researches for fun, which is crazy.
He speaks in a way that it would be very difficult to distrust.
Yeah,
like
fair.
That guy knows what he's talking about and he cares. Yeah. Like I believe whatever he's selling me. He should be a salesman.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
You know what?
Trade,
Take that back. He is. He sells houses.
I guess
he got he got you to say something on the left, and I was madly impressed. After his whole spiel, he got you to say, "None of this shit we argue about matters." Yes,
I don't think that's inherently leftist.
Yes, it is.
Saying that
the social issues that we always argue
everything.
About.
I mean everything.
Yes, and talking about fucking us out of healthcare, fucking us in the economy, fucking us out of all these different things is the plan. It's what they do, and I was just happy to see you see it. Yeah, none of this shit matters. 100%. Absolutely.
It's funny that you talk about his competency, because I agree, but that creates a really dark picture, because he sounded very, again, he is obviously very informed. He has connected the dots, and what it reveals is something that's, like, quite frankly, like, hopeless.
Yeah, he didn't. I think he knows too much, which is he's extremely knowledgeable, but also, I mean, he didn't inspire me.
No, and that's not his job, right? Like he said,
right.
He's trying to deal with just numbers, but fuck me, as if I wasn't already cynical enough. Like,
that said, I want him back on the show as soon as he'd love to come on.
I would talk to him about anything. Like I want to like do hours more research to then be better prepared to just pepper him with questions.
I also think that real estate is an interesting viewpoint for him to come in on, because he shows how connected everything is with real estate and buying land, like especially like Blackstone and BlackRock and all of those private equity and like hedge funds that own so much land. Like it's a very interesting viewpoint that it's literally his job. He's an expert on it on his 9 to 5, but then it's such an entry point for so many other different industries. Like I think that's a very interesting way to look at things, is through like the lens of real estate and how it affects everything else.
If he's at all interested in doing some work for Barstool Sports for free, I'm buying a house in 2027, and I would like him. Maybe we do a video series. He comes down, we go visit some houses.
He's a realtor.
Yeah, good luck. I just bought a house here in Chicago, and it is.
Oh, I know.
There is a dearth of homes. It is dark out there.
It's ridiculous. Like I told him, that you see a house that was sold for $120 in 2014, and it's going for $410.
But then the maybe the wildest part is, though, then like if you buy one, then you become the asset holder, and then you're like, oh wait, I need this to keep going up. Otherwise, there's no way that I'm gonna. So yeah, I don't know. It's
Trump said he wants to get home prices up for the people that own it.
Fuck me in the dick.
I'm never buying. Like how am I gonna do that?
Fuck me in the dick.
Yeah, that's what I say when I'm just at a complete loss of like all motivation and hope. I just don't. Just
logistically, how does one fuck somebody?
Just smash my urethra. Just plunge right in it.
No, hold on. Ain't that what Mormons do?
No.
What they do?
No, they soak. That's a different thing.
Don't they like?
Hang on. No, let him continue. Let him continue.
Are you thinking of docking, where you have an uncircumcised penis and a circumcised penis, and the hood goes over the other one? It's like a spaceship when it connects with the space station.
I don't think that's
what.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not a Mormon thing.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Mormon is when they put the penis in the vagina, but they don't thrust, so it's not considered sex because
it's soaking.
motion.
They
in
have
the
someone
ocean.
kick the bottom of the bed.
The hump jumper.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
jump on the bed for you. You got to get the homie to jump on the bed for you.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like sitting there, and you're inside, but you're not thrusting. So it's a loophole for them.
Have you heard about durfing?
I haven't,
I've heard
and
of the
I'm.
term.
It's not
based on
bad.
what
It's
you
not bad.
just
No,
told
it's
me,
not
I'm
bad.
really dubious of whether I want to hear it or not.
No, it's not bad. All it is it's the Mormon term for dry humping, as I understand it. They call it
okay.
durfing.
I wonder what DERF stands for. Like what the
I don't
Yeah,
know.
is that an acronym or?
Dry fucking? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Me and my wife, when we first started dating in high school, we used to be some dry humping maniacs, dude.
Congrats.
Crazy shit. Just fucking denim on denim.
Wild. You're a wild fella.
Just
Tbob.
chafed jean penis.
All right.
Oh,
And when
Yeah, so
Sorry,
I
cut
think that's
that.
good for the day. I think next week is
Peeps is back.
he's back. Okay, cool. Well, everybody, this is Thursday. Fridays tomorrow. Avoid the bookings because you'll be in there all weekend. You know,
Mm.
take
and
care,
you'll miss the Super Bowl.
and you'll miss the Super Bowl. So yeah, stay out of trouble.
Arian,
Much love. What's up,
I am
brother?
going to the 1, 2, 3, 5th best city in the SEC this weekend. Where am I going?
Fifth best city. You don't have to do the team.
Yeah, I hate the team.
I would say Athens.
I had Athens 3. Going to Lexington, Kentucky.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never been to Lexington other than to play ball. So
It's
I don't
a
know nothing,
it's a
but
solid town.
What's your top 5?
I would go Knoxville 1, Nashville
that.
2,
Yeah, okay.
Athens 3,
I'm okay with that.
and Columbia, Missouri 4. Even though it's not really in the SEC, I mean it is, but it's a nice town.
Yeah, I don't know enough about. Athens was really nice
Athens
when
is
I went.
fucking sick.
Athens was dope.
I've never been to Lexington,
Yeah.
though.
Lexington's
Just imagine
fine.
green rolling hills and horses and
I haven't
blonde
been.
women and bourbon.
It's similar to Knoxville in that it's a nice downtown area, but it's not like a big city. I went to Oxford when I was like 8, so I don't remember that. Haven't been to Auburn. There's
Tuscaloosa.
well, they wouldn't be in this conversation regardless. But there are a couple more I need to get to
Wait, why?
because it's Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Oh, you're saying it's a bad place.
It's actually, I mean, Birmingham's fine.
It's actually
Alabama-
Birmingham's actually pretty
Alabama
cool.
is-
Birmingham's a cool city.
Yeah, and it's basically Birmingham.
Alabama is UT's rivalry, Maddie.
Well, I know that.
No,
I'm
but
just
even
saying,
if they weren't, I
by
mean,
just sitting-
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Okay, you just saying fuck the whole city. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Yep. Well, all right, y'all. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all next week. Much love. Peace.
Goodbye.